You guys are really good at making me feel like I have not done a video that you really want to watch when it comes to angelfish. Yo, what is up, all you stone cold illmatic funkadelics out there? Listen, we're gonna talk about these angelfish. We're gonna pass all the BS. We're gonna pass all that. All right, we're just not gonna give you a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo you don't want. I've kept angelfish for so long. I've bred them. I've done this. I've done that. I've done all kinds of stuff with them. Had them in all different types of aquariums. I've had one angelfish. I've had many angelfish. And I've realized that no matter how many videos I do on angelfish, there's always a question that I get that I didn't answer. So damn all the simple stuff. You can find out what their pH is. You can find out what all that stuff is. What you really are asking me, the real reason why you came to this video was to find out what's the really real on keeping angelfish. Is it a waste of time? Is it a waste of money? Are they gonna kill all your fish? Are all your fish gonna kill them? I got you. I got you. All right, here's a tale of two tapes. Is that correct? I don't even know if that's correct. A tale of two tapes. Basically, it's one subject with two questions. One answer with two different paths on how you can look at it. You see what I'm saying? The first one is, are angelfish hard to keep? The second one is, are angelfish easy to keep? Pretty much the same question, right? But they are two different questions. They really are. Hopefully, some of the other questions that are asked to me by the viewers will answer those two questions. You're one of those camps, whether they're hard to keep or they're easy to keep, and we're gonna get to the bottom. We're gonna get to the bottom of those two questions. In order to figure out whether they're hard or easy to keep, we're gonna go ahead and ask the first question that was given to me. What do angelfish need in their tank? Very little. Very little. What's up, babe? That's fine.
Do you want me to add like barbecue as well?
I don't, the sweet stuff. I don't like the sweet stuff. I like the vinegary type of flavor. You know what I mean?
Alright, I don't have vinegar.
It's fine. Put adobo or whatever in it. What do angelfish need in a tank? They don't need a whole lot in their tank. They really don't. Damn near every angelfish you're gonna get is gonna be captive bred. Okay, and they're the easiest to keep. If you're gonna get wild caught angelfish, you're purposely looking for wild caught angelfish, and you're gonna pay the price. You're gonna know if they're wild caught or not. So let's get into what they need in the tank. They need a tall tank. So you don't want to do 10 gallons or 20 longs or stuff like that. I'd even kind of back away from 40 breeders unless there's a purpose. But for the most part, I would kind of stay away from that. I would go as tall as possible, 55s, 29s, stuff like that. Even a 20 high, you know what I mean? But you don't want to get shallow tanks, long tanks. As far as their filtration goes, a sponge filter is the best. And the reason why is a sponge filter produces very little flow. Angelfish, it's a big old kite. You get a big old aqua clear on there, and a lot of times people overdo it with the sponge, with the over the hang on the back, over the hang on the back. All right, okay, that's what we're doing now. Hang on the back sponge filters. What you do is you're causing them to have so much flow, and you're causing them to constantly fight current. You don't want to do that because they'll tire themselves out and eventually stress out and die. They won't eat as much. They won't act correctly. So you don't really want to overdo it with the filtration, but you do want to have a lot of filtration, right? That's why a sponge filter is the best, because you can have a large filter for your aquarium without having all that turbulence. They are pigs. They're filthy, dirty, hungry hippo pigs. So they will pretend like they're hungry all the time, every time you walk past a tank. But they're lying to you. They will eat until literally their guts burst. I've seen it happen. So you need to feed them a good diet. And because they eat so much, if you don't, they're a cichlid. They primarily eat protein. You want to feed them a mix. Ideal diet would be like 75% protein, 25% veggie matter. And the veggie matter is important that it gets in there because you can cause them to get stopped up. Like they'll get constipated. I've seen that happen too. So, you know, even a 60-40, 60% protein, 40%, most community flakes work well. While we're on the subject of flakes, I'd try and stay away from flakes just because angelfish are not all that big at going to the bottom and picking off the bottom. They will do it, but they're not as good as like catfish or geophagus or something like that. So a lot of that fish will just a lot of that food. I'm just 0 for 82 today. I'm just messing up left and right. So I would suggest something that a pellet that floats if you can find it, or sinks slowly so that they can get at it. You don't want that stuff to fall. If you don't have bottom feeders or scavengers, you don't want all that stuff just nastying up your tank. But keep it at 80 degrees. You know, you can shoot for 82, you can shoot for 78, just put the thing on 80. You know what I mean? Almost every fish you get in the trade is gonna be good at 80. Minimum tank size for angelfish is a huge deal for a lot of people. It depends. It all depends on how many angelfish you want. All right, you want one angelfish? Get a 20 high. You know what I mean? Yes, you can have other fish in there with the one angelfish. A lot of people think that one angelfish, one tank, nobody else in there. No, you can have others, you know, little tetras and stuff like that in there. But say you want 5 angelfish, I would suggest a 55. I suggest 55 in most any cases, but I suggest a 55. That way, if they do decide to breed on you, which if you get like 3, you're probably gonna end up with a ratio, you know, 1 male, 2 females, 2 females, 1 male, where they're gonna breed. They can take half the tank, which they will, and the fish that are not breeding will go on the other half because they are mad aggressive when they're breeding. They will kill another fish. They will kill it to death. If you have 3, 29. You know what I'm saying? So just those 3, 20, 29, 55, I gave you the numbers. You can judge from there. All right. One of the biggest reasons why you want a bigger tank is because of breeding issues. Seriously. This is because of breeding issues. And seeing as how you can't really tell who's male and female until after they really start breeding, you never know. So I would suggest get a 55 if you wanted an angel aquarium, because you're not going to want to just have one. You're not just going to want to have 3. You're going to want a bunch of them because they're awesome. They rock. You want more. You know what I mean? More. Do angelfish need to be in pairs? No, they do not. No, they do not. But I can't imagine having just one angelfish in a tank either. So most people are going to get multiple angelfish, and that's great. Just keep in mind, the more angelfish you get, the more chance of breeding going on and the more chances of fish aggression. And to be honest with you, as far as fish aggression goes, they really only mean to each other. They don't go around picking on other non-angelfish for the most part that I've learned. They only really mean to each other. So, and that's during the breeding time. So my ideal number to keep in a 55-gallon aquarium, for those of you who want to know what's the perfect number, 6. 6 is the perfect number. So that's a strange question that always gets added on to me, because it feels like no matter how many times I talk about tank size, angel pairs, angel breeding, they always want to know, okay, but what's the one number? I'm gonna say 6. There it is. 6 angelfish for a 55-gallon tank. I don't know how much more plainer I can get on that, but 6. How big does an angelfish get? that's also another funny question that people ask me, and it's a legitimate question, but I love some of the answers I read online. Okay, I've read that angelfish get 6 inches. That's incredibly small angelfish. I've read angelfish get 18 inches. They're probably talking about like a, I've never seen an 18. Here it is. Territorial scalary, right? Territorial means angelfish. Scalary means what type of angelfish it is. Is it the ultim, the scalary, which is what you normally see all the time, or is it the Leopoldi? Those are the 3 main geniuses. Those are the main 3 groups of angelfish. Now the ultims you rarely see. You purposely buy them because you're going to spend $150 on one. You're going to know if you have an ultim, and if you're going to spend $150, you're going to know what to expect. Those are the ones that get long, up to 15 inches from the bottom of the tip of the bottom tail to the of the bottom fin to the top of the tip of the dorsal fin, about 15 inches. A regular scalary, what you normally buy, the zebras, the blues, the kois, the goldens, the marbles, without them being a long fin fish or just a standard fin fish, I'm gonna give them 8. Now, if they're gonna be long fin and stuff like that, let's go ahead and bump that up to 10. All right. If it's a Leopoldi, right, which is a Leopoldi, some people call them the teardrop, the long nose, dwarf angelfish. They don't have long fins. They haven't made any long fin variations of this fish yet. So from the top of its top fin to the bottom of its bottom fin, let's go ahead and say 5-ish. All right. So those are the numbers. You can take them to the bank, and I'd argue anybody who said otherwise. Angelfish tank mates. Angelfish tank mates. There are 2 categories of angelfish tank mates. Okay. And my category that I normally go with when I'm dealing with angelfish are smaller size. When I say small size, I'm talking about anywhere from the 4 to 5 inch range. Sorry, I'd even go up to 8 inch range cichlids. Central Americans are a little bit more docile than, South Americans are a little bit more docile than Central Americans, but you can do some Central Americans. But I like to put mine with cichlids. Okay, I've learned in my fish keeping journey that these aggressive cichlids, they don't even know what to make of an angelfish. They don't consider it a threat because they don't consider it one of them. So they leave them alone. They'll fight with each other, but they normally always leave the angelfish alone. You'll see angelfish with Oscars. You'll see angelfish. I've done them with Oscars, Jack Dempsey's, firemouths, geophaguses, which geophaguses are docile, except for the pearl, the brilliensis. It's a mean geophagus. But they've never messed with the angelfish. Okay, acaras. So the semi to low aggressive, up to 8 inch cichlids, you can put them in with some of the sharks and stuff like that. But you can put them in with those fish and they'll be fine. I've done it many times. As long as the angelfish are bigger than when you put the cichlids in. All right, you see what I'm saying? If you get a little angelfish and a big old cichlid, yeah, you got issues. But if you get the angelfish big already and the cichlid small and it grows up to be 5 to 8 inches, you'll be all right. Now, let's flip around to the community tanks what most people have. Tetras and gouramis and moles. So any fish will put something, I don't care if it's a non-aggressive herbivore fish, if they see something that can fit in their mouth, they're gonna try to do that. You can put angelfish with neons and guppies. Just make sure they're adult and large as possible. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that fish, that angelfish won't try to do it. Normally, if they're well fed, they're not going to look at it as a food source. Now, if those fish start having babies, yeah, you know, those babies are gone. The best fish for a community tank that I've seen people have angels with are mollies, swordtails, and platies. And here's the reason why. Some of you guys might find this a little disturbing, but mollies, swordtails, and platies, prolific breeders. They will continue to have babies, live bearers, right? Well, those babies are food for the angelfish, and they keep the population out. The angelfish is not going to attack the adults, but they will eat up the babies. So if you have a nice population of mollies, swordtails, and platies, variatus, whatever, and you're happy with that, you don't want no more, get yourself an angelfish. So as they have babies, the angelfish pick off those babies and leave the adults alone because the adults are too big. Not only is that good for your population control, but it does have an effect on the angelfish. Those smaller fish, I'll call them dither fish. All a dither fish is a fish that comfort the other fish from being out and about. If those dither fish book, the angelfish or predatory fish, whatever, know, hey, they left, I gotta hide too. So it gives them a sense of comfort when you have those smaller fish around. And by eating the babies, it gives them a little taste of their natural predatory inhibitions. You know what I mean? They do stuff a little bit more naturally. They're a little bit more active because, you know, they feel a little bit more wild. And if you want to have the females to grow, that's a good way of getting females to grow, is getting them to hunt. You know what I mean? Hunt and eat live food is what they do in the wild. They do it a lot right before they gotta fatten up before they have babies. So it's a good way of bringing their natural personality out. So I'm gonna let you know, if you get small stuff like shrimp or itty bitty little that stay itty bitty, smaller than guppies and stuff like that. I've even seen angels with guppies. Yes, I have. I wouldn't do it, but it's been done. The female guppies normally get bigger. They're all right. The male guppies, especially with their long tails, might have a problem. I'm not saying they're not going to, or they definitely are. I'm just saying it's something to think about. I wouldn't necessarily try the guppies, but if you wanted to, there's a case to be made that they'll be all right. The only way you can tell is to do it. And let me know.